broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. And here we are. A lot to talk about. A lot of big stuff happened kind of after the show yesterday. Some things broke. Von Miller being I think, probably the biggest story going on. We'll touch on the Yankees that have turned into a dumpster fire. 5 of the last 20 games, they've only won 5.
They'd actually have to improve to be a dumpster fire.
Okay. I'm not even going to argue at this point.
Right.
I'm just going with it. So,
Coach, would you have thought 4 weeks ago, that you'd be saying, wow, how good the Islanders are and how shitty the Yankees are? You know what I mean? It just shows you what can happen in a month's time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have the Giannis. I mean, talking all the right things,
right.
But I heard a great line. Earlier today that Giannis is going to be down in South Beach with
Jimmy Butler.
And, I think they called it the big fat Greek payday wedding or something.
Yeah.
But he's going to Miami,
Yeah. Because they're waiting on him if he's going to sign the Supermax contract. But, I mean, it's Milwaukee, and, they've struggled now. They've been the best record the last 2 years now. I mean, last year I think they got to the conference finals. This year they're out in the second round. So, a lot of questions there. But, man, what a job Pat Riley's done. I mean, Wade leaves and LeBron leaves, and here they are back in the conference championship.
Absolutely. So it's they just keep plugging along. Interchanging. You got to give Pat Riley and Eric
Spoelstra.
Spoelstra.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, Eric. But you got to give him credit because they're in it. Yeah.
He's a good coach too, Spoelstra. I mean, Riley handed him the keys to a Ferrari because obviously he took over from when LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh were there, and they've done a great job. And another NBA news last night, which kind of caught me off guard, was Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
And the Thunder deciding they say it's mutual.
Yeah.
Which he was up for Coach of the Year consideration. Everybody thought the Thunder, because they traded Westbrook, were going to struggle, and they had a nice year. They were the 5 seed and went 7 games with the Rockets. I'm hoping the Sixers, man.
And
what I was going to get at is, with you guys is, are the Sixers blowing up his phone right now?
I would be.
I mean, I think they have to be because who else is out there?
Him or
Ty
Lue.
already told you to go scratch. So who else is out there that's kind of?
Yeah. It's him or Ty Lue, I think. And Ty Lue's coaching with the Clippers now in the playoff. And I think it's the kind of the football thing, you got to wait till the assistants are done. Right. So I think it's Ty Lue or Billy Donovan. I would prefer Donovan. And let's not forget, too, Billy Donovan has a relationship with Al Horford as he coached Al Horford at Florida. So that might come into play, too.
Okay. All right. I'd like to thanks, Captain. We forgot that you're a Gator. We forgot all about that. Completely slipped my mind.
Just in case. Hey, actually, one of the things that was put out by what's his nose on Around the Horn was that there might be a quote what would amount to be a trade of Billy Donovan going to Kansas if Bill Self comes in and takes the job at OKC. I can't see that, but that's what was.
I can, because Kansas has been under the microscope with that FBI stuff, and it might be time for him to, step away.
Maybe for Self, though. I don't know if I see it for Donovan, unless he's tired of the NBA and just wants to go back to that college atmosphere. And Kansas is a pretty good job. But let's not forget about, where the big bucks are made, and that's in the NBA. And I'm sure, they're saying right now the Sixers want him, the Bulls want him, and I'm drawing a blank on the other team, but there's multiple teams that are knocking on his door already.
The Cavs still looking for a coach?
That might be it. You might be right. So,
I didn't hear Chris Paul.
Excuse me. It's the New Orleans Pelicans. That's who it is. I apologize.
Actually, the Pelicans would probably be a really good fit for them because they're young, and it's kind of like taking a college team that's kind of like a graduate college team. The guys that are just really young and would actually dig Donovan, and I think he would work well there. I think so. So he's got his choice of the Sixers, which actually, like I said, has that. The makeup, he definitely would have to do something with Horford. Granted, they have that relationship that they got at Florida together, but he'd actually have to try to. I still think that would be like trying to jam a round or is a square peg in a round hole, unless they figure that out, because that'd be a whole different offense that you'd have to check out.
I think the only way Horford's going to work, Captain, is if it's off the bench. And you keep him and Embiid off the floor together as much as possible. So if Horford's going to give you 20 minutes a night, and it's the 12 minutes Embiid's not on the court, and then maybe they play 7-8 minutes together. But still, do you want to pay a guy $100 million contract to play 20 minutes a night? That's the question.
Right, and if they could actually, I'm going to use your favorite term again, parlay Horford into a player that would fit. I could see that more where you got a really good player in Horford that actually really has not had the opportunity to show his wares effectively in the NBA, and he's still relatively young. I think he's like late 20s, and I think he can do well in the right environment, and I just don't think that Philly is that environment for him.
And Coach, what you put up about Chris Paul, I did hear about that trade rumor of him going to the Sixers. I don't know what they'd give up. I don't think they would take Al Horford on just because you still have 3 years left on that deal at around $75 million, or maybe a little bit more. So I'm curious to what the compensation is, but I think it would fit good because I think that's what the Sixers need is a veteran like him that's going to come in with those young guys and get them straight, get that, make them veterans, make sure Embiid's in shape. I mean, I'm tired of hearing Embiid, he's out of shape, and every year it's I'm going to take it serious and get it going, and every summer we get, videos of Ben Simmons making jump shots, and it's the same shit every year.
Well, yeah. I mean, where's the process going? Because the process has not done anything. It hasn't yielded anything. Or too early exits in the playoffs.
Actually, well, Stiz says that Horford was part of the package. That's where Horford would probably do some damages heading back out to Houston.
He would go to OKC. Chris Paul's in OKC. Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Last year's team, but yeah, OKC with Horford, yeah, but still, that would be where it would be worth it. It would be worth it. Like I said, they gotta use that contract or use the commodity that is Al Horford. Wouldn't it be strange though if Donovan goes to the Sixers and they could probably do a high five on the way out, him and Horford on the same plane. It's like one's getting off in Philly and Al's getting on the plane that's going back to OKC, and do the high five and go, "Hey, good seeing you, brother."
No, they can't do that. You got to be 6 feet. Social distancing, don't you know?
Captain showed us his Gators hat. What I do want to see is the voodoo doll he's got and the ankle he's been stabbing into with Von Miller.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of gotten, I think now it's kind of a 2-horse race between the Raiders and KC because you had that injury to
Derwin James.
Your boy, Darren James, and now Von Miller, two keys to defenses,
Right.
which is really just giving Patrick Mahomes the big.
I can neither confirm or deny that Captain Jack was involved in any of the retaliatory actions on the Cleveland.
Yeah, on to the Cleveland Steamers.
Yeah. Did you see that jersey I sent you, Coach?
Yes.
They actually have it now. It's Cleveland on the front, Steamer on the back, and then 13.
Yep, the Steamer.
No, I think it definitely opens the door for the Raiders. No doubt about it. I mean, that's a big loss. And like I had mentioned off air, they lost Chris Harris Jr. too. So that's two keys to your defense that you lose, and that's where they win. So we will see what happens.
Yeah, we'll try not to steam it up too bad today. But, all right.
Hey, remember, I only got that news late, so I still got some jokes for that probably coming in the beginning if it's set up properly. But yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, with the fact, like going back to the actual defense thing, Von Miller is in charge of that defense out in Denver. They work well. He's like the defensive coordinator on the field. Okay, obviously he has that much rapport. Derwin James' loss with the Chargers is going to hurt, but it's not as bad because, again, you have Chris Harris coming in, and he's going to be that veteran presence that the Chargers have needed. It would have been nicer with the Chargers to have a person like Derwin James, but he hasn't really been there, anyway. So it's like you're not really missing anything you really haven't had a chance to experience.
Right. And then, as you know, Captain, you still have Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa. So
providing they stay on the field because they're injury prone too.
Great point. No, you're right about that. So it will be interesting to see, but I definitely think, and that's about football. It's crazy. It changes daily. A week ago, Derwin James was playing, and so was Von Miller, and here we are a week later, and now I would say, honestly, the best defensive player in each of those teams. Now, Chargers is arguable. Some people obviously would go Joey Bosa, but I'm telling you, Derwin James is pretty good. Let's not forget, he was an all-pro as a rookie. So he is very, very good, very, very talented. And they even called him on Hard Knocks, one of the leaders of the leader of the defense. So it's I am finishing my dinner. I apologize. It's been a long day.
Actually, you missed it because during pregame, all I heard was he's definitely a loud eater. That's true.
Oh, yeah, well, they used to say it was just like my dad. When my dad was at college, his roommates all said they would wait for the barnyard to clear when they were eating because they all slurped their cereal real loud, so they couldn't stand it. No, that's great. Dude, OBJ is going to be the gift that gives all year. That's all I can say. It's just going to give all year.
Keeps on giving, man. Oh yes, enjoying the Cleveland Steamer, man.
Right now, last night, obviously I went 3-0, so that's back-to-back 3-0s to start the week. 6-0 this week was really good last week. I think it's like 13 of 15 or something I've won. So I'm the opposite of the Yankees.
I was just going to say that, man. As soon as I heard that 15 too, I said, that's a good 15. That's a good 15. Yeah.
So, like I said last night, I said I like Vegas straight. I like Vegas minus 1.5. I like the Lakers. I'll have a couple of games tonight as well. But yeah, nice performance for Vegas to get back on track. Obviously, Tampa Bay is still the team to beat, though. I think it's a Tampa-Vegas final, and I don't know how you can look at it and not like Tampa. I know, Coach, you sticking with the Islanders, Coach?
Yes, I am. Hold on.
Oh, see, he's sticking with him just enough to get off camera. Okay. Yeah.
No, I think he's going to go jump off the deck into the water because with how the Yankees have played lately. And
I've come close to that, but it's really not that bad. A little overcast, a little sprinkle coming down here at the beach, just so you know. But yeah.
Nice weather report, Coach. Thanks.
I thought I'd give you the weather report. I had to get some stuff. So
yeah,
you're definitely better than the guy on our old station. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, it's like and let's have Al Sleet with the weather. Hey man, I'm Al Sleet, your hippy dippy weather man.
Hey, look, Captain, and you weren't with us when we were on the network, and the weather guy was absolutely horrible.
Horrendous.
But it was so funny because the network was faking the numbers so much, because there would be like all of a sudden during the weather break, the numbers would explode and then come back down.
Because
really
people
all
were
these
listening.
people knew exactly when the weather was coming, because none of these people had cell phones where the weather's automatically comes on to their smartphone. It was kind of comical. So,
and they only had 1,200 people who liked the page, and yet how are you going to get 5,000 views from 1,200 people liking the page?
Not bad.
Yeah. Can you say click farm or, something like that, but whatever they were doing, it was kind of shady, but yeah.
Yeah, it was 100%.
But anyway.
Good. Sorry, Coach.
No, anyway, go ahead. Well, you finish your dinner. You still eating?
I do have one pick I'm going to start with for hockey, if you want to play my thing. I did say it last night, so I wanted to get Captain's, Captain's view on it too.
And if you don't want Gazzo breaking your thumbs, then listen to Nick's picks exclusively in the Huddle with Coach Muddle.
Now, obviously, I like Tampa Bay tonight. I'm not going to go as crazy with -1.5. I think you're going to see a little bit of I still think the Islanders are tired. I think the coach has created a problem at goaltending. Taking out the last goalie who gave up 3 goals in 10 minutes, and then the other guy gave up 5 goals in the game. So now you got 2 goalies who might have confidence issues, in regards to playing Tampa Bay. But I do think they're going to come out hard.
I think that, I don't know. I think they had that day to rest now. They kind of regrouped. I'm still sticking with the Islanders, man.
All right, who do you got tonight, Captain? Oh, there you go. There's the answer. But I'll tell you, watch them, man. Hedman on defense, he's so big and just good. He reminds me of Chara a lot from Boston, but a more smooth skater, I would say.
Yeah.
He can play, and this is all without Stamkos. And have you heard anything? Obviously, who do you like tonight, Captain? And have you heard anything on when Stamkos will be back? And if they make the finals, will he be back?
I was told, and I can't remember what the source was. I haven't been listening to the local guys on DAE, which is the sports talk here. I don't want to say anything bad about them, because again, it's one of those things where if you ever talk bad about people in the industry, it kind of comes and bites you in the ass. But because I would like to work in the industry one of these days. But
I just, I break that rear view mirror, man, because I don't want to see all the bridges burning behind me.
Yeah.
But
DAE has been, that's the people to see. I know that ever since Dumig died, and Steve Dumig is a big Philly honk, and he was down here pro Lightning up the yin yang. But I think that again, for reports I heard, and I can't remember what the source was, he's gone. He's not even coming back for the playoffs at all, and that will hurt the Lightning, but it won't hurt them as much, because it's kind of like you don't know what you have missing if you never really have it. This is what happens for the Lightning in the postseason. They get up to the playoffs, Stamkos gets hurt, and they go through the postseason no problem. Aside from last year when the Blue Jackets just boat raced them out in a 0-4 sweep, Normally, the Lightning are without Stamkos for at least several rounds. They might get him occasionally. I think like a couple years ago when they were actually playing the Blackhawks and lost in the finals. But they've gone without him, and I think that they got enough with Hedman, got enough with Braden Point, got enough with Kucherov. Kucherov was actually put on notice, like, dude, fucking do something. You're the goal scorer, and you're not really scoring goals. But Point, Hedman, and Kucherov, with obviously Vasi back on the net. So I think that's all they really need, with the other guys contributing as needed.
Yeah, and I think Kucherov too. He really wants to make up. I mean, he had a bad postseason last year and got a lot of criticism, and it looks as if he really wants to make up for that this year. So yeah, I mean, they're right now you have to lay money to get them to win the Stanley Cup. Now I know obviously they're up one game, and we're getting here. Now we're around the way after this round, obviously, but still, that just shows you what Vegas, meaning the gambling community, thinks about the Lightning. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to get into a gambling story real quick that I heard on ESPN Plus. It might take like 2 minutes if you don't mind real quick, but I want you to listen how crazy this is. So there's on ESPN Plus, Mike Greenberg he's doing a show with different episodes. It's called Better Days. So it's about, gambling stories of guys who won and lost. So last year's Kentucky Derby, a guy, he wakes up in the morning, his son has a track meet. He's in, he stops at the casino to make a bet, not the casino he usually goes to because he had to go to his son's track meet. So he bets a 3-horse exacta, at which, you're getting first and second place, but you can box 3 horses. You're allowed to do that. And he bets a trifecta, 4 horses, and he boxes them all. So he's watching the race later on. Maximum Security wins. He didn't have them. And then he starts hearing that they said he might have cut the horse off and he might get disqualified. So they disqualify the horse. And then he realizes, he had the country house or whatever it was, who was 65-1. And then he finds out the horse that was in third was his horse. So he hit the exacta. Then he realizes, oh shit, I hit the trifecta too. And he had put big money on him. So the two totals would be $650,000 he won. So he's elated, so happy. Well, guess what? The casino he went to caps winnings, so he could only get $35,000, and he didn't see it because it was in the corner. So he won $35,000 instead of $650,000.
Oh my God!
Now look, any guy's happy you win $35,000. You know what I mean? But man, when you're thinking I won $660,000, that's life changing. $35,000's life, but $600. I mean, that's life changing. And yeah, he got capped out and can only get $35,000.
Wow!
And like I said, he usually goes to another casino, where he would have got paid.
He would have gotten the full amount. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the moral
they couldn't
of the
even
story
give it to him in like casino credit or something, like
I'm surprised there wasn't a lawsuit because that should be in big things. And he said it was to the side where you couldn't see it. They should really let it be known, or even have it on the bet slip saying, hey, these are capped. Let them know. Because then if you're going to do that, there's no point in taking the long shot if they're capping it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was going to say, the moral of the story is that shoot your son so you don't have to go to any track meets or whatever, so you can actually get 600.
Please, man, what a kid. And you're running track of all things. And you just cost me 600 and what, 30 grand, 25, 30 grand, Wow.
Imagine that. So you go from like, oh man, I lost, to, oh my God, I won, to holy shit, I won, but I only won 35,000. I can't imagine the roller coaster ride. I was just watching that and putting myself in that guy's shoes. Honestly, you guys would have probably seen. I'd have went nuts. It would have been bad. It would have been really bad at the casino.
I would have got the call. Yes, this is, security officer, Vinny Gubats. We have your buddy Nicholas here. You need to come and get him.
This is Officer Stadenko. We need you to come down here immediately because we got to put this guy in a padded cell. He's definitely been ripping through the casino. and just, I can't even talk about the Bedlam again. Please call this Officer Stadenko. Please get your asshole friend out of the clink. There you go.
We even offered him $100,000 buffet credit. Yeah, so what a story. I just heard that last night. I said, man, I got to share that on the show because I thought that was pretty damn crazy for, anybody that gambles or even just in general. It's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Absolutely, man.
You actually lost me on he boxed 3 and then he had a trifecta and a quadfecta
story. So an exact is picking the horse in first and second place, but you can take 3 horses and box them, and if those horses they can go in any place, but you have to pay for all the different combinations, obviously. So you're going to pay more because you're boxing. If you have 1, 2, 3, it could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2. 2, 1, 3, 2. You got the point, Captain. You know what I mean? So you got to pay for all them. Now, Coach, speaking of guys who hit the lottery, how about all the money Jalen Ramsey got?
Man, they backs up the Brinks truck for him. And, here's what I look at, okay? I don't look at the big fluff number. It's the guaranteed number, okay? Geez, can you just get off the damn camera completely, or you're going to just shove shit in your face, okay? Christ almighty, man. We're doing a show here. Jeez, man.
Oh, at least my internet works. Hey, man, I got to eat by a certain time. I'm on the fasting diet here.
God dang, man. Anyway, I look at it. He's getting $71 or $72 million guaranteed, like 72.2. Something like it's a guaranteed money that really, because the rest of that is just fluff because he'll never see that money.
Right.
So, but honestly, I think that, and I don't know how the Rams did this. They were $400,000 over the cap. And then they went and signed Ramsey. So they had to get under the cap in order to pay him.
Well, probably his figure this year got dropped, and they took it and stretched it over the course of the – that's the only thing I can think of.
I think that you're going to see, because the salary cap, I think, is going to go down next year just because of with all this going on.
Yeah.
You're going to see some Bobby Bonilla type deals. Where you're going to get guys that are going to get stretched out,
Yeah. Well,
we'll pay you $1 million a year for the rest of your life type of shit.
Well, I know the Eagles aren't happy about it because they're one of the teams in salary cap hell next year. They're going to be way over. That's why they didn't spend any of the $25 million that they're under this year, because obviously whatever you're under this year can roll over to next year.
Right.
So, but the team that's even worse, I think the Eagles are the second worst cap shade of the Saints. I think the Saints are like $80 million over next year. So they're going to need to get really creative.
Yeah, either that or, definitely this will be Drew Brees' last year.
Probably.
So they can take that money off the bat.
It is. So, but in a case, that's only
that's what I was laughing at, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
That's only that's only what, 30 million? Isn't that what he makes? 30 million a year, something like that. So if you're 80 million, that's I mean, it's putting a dent, but you're still gonna have to do some other things too.
Yeah. Well, they get a lot of guys to restructure, obviously, and move stuff around, and you can get creative, but still it's an issue. And it means obviously too, you can't that's obviously why they couldn't bring on Clowney, like we talked about last night, because they tried doing some things because they just couldn't afford it. So we will see what happens.
I think the Saints are definitely here's another term for you, Nick. All in this year. Okay.
Oh, real. I agree.
They're all in this year, and it's like Super Bowl or bust, because they've had crappy. They had the miracle at the Met. With the Diggs thing, they had the bullshit call of the pass interference. It wasn't called pass interference. So they've been a team in the making for the last several years. Now, granted, last year they didn't add to that because that would have been, the third year, which they should have done. And actually, to be honest, I don't even remember what the hell happened last year to the Saints. I just know they lost.
To the 49ers, if I remember
okay,
correctly.
Yeah. So they're saying, okay, this really is our year. We're pushing all the chips in, and we're betting on them. And then that's why, Breeze came back. That's why that they got rid of Bridgewater, because they had the Mr. the slash guy who really
the Swiss Army knife guy.
And they got Jameis too, though.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's
right.
there. Yes.
Yeah, Jameis is their backup, and maybe they're thinking, well, maybe Jameis might be, better off here than he was in Tampa. He's closer to home, or relatively close to home. From Nolans, he's actually from the area around Georgia, Bama, Florida, that area up in there. So he's close, and it's all or nothing for the Saints, and that's why they're saying that. And Nick was saying it the other day. The big game out the gate, and why it's not the Sunday night game, I agree with you. Why in the hell aren't you having what is it, Drew Brees against some Palooka who plays quarterback for the local team here, not being your Sunday night game? I don't understand as well. Well, by the way, I just saw on the TV that Mike Evans has a hamstring injury.
Yeah,
so that's something else to worry about as well.
I knew that was going to happen because obviously, as I said yesterday or today is when they have to release the injury report because of gambling reasons. And, it's been such a weird year because there's no media at any of these practices, or very limited media. You're not hearing about all these things, about injuries and whatnot. So, I mean, did it say whether he's going to play on Sunday or no?
Out of respect for the show, I actually had the volume turned down. I was just watching. So
no, he's doubtful. He's doubtful. He's listed as doubtful.
Now, Coach, I do have two picks quick again for the NBA. One starts in a little bit. I wanted to give it. All right. So I'm going to go Celtics. Take a money line tonight. They're minus 3.5. I buy the points. Go money line. I like the Celtics. And then Denver's getting 8 or 8.5 tonight against the Clippers. I like the Clippers to win the game but not cover. So I like Denver +8. So that'll be my 3 games for tonight, Coach.
Okay. All right. Now get back to Michael Johnson. His
the track guy.
What?
Yeah, the track guy with 96 who won the gold.
The track guy won the gold. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, it is a problem, but you as an owner are gambling on that the salary cap is going to increase, so you can fit that in. I mean, it's kind of a chess match, and
right,
but everybody is assuming it's going to go down because of the revenue loss because of the COVID stuff. So we'll see what happens, but it's a crapshoot, just like anything else.
And that's one of the reasons the Rams dumped Brandon Cooks too. Because, they paid Donald, they paid Goff last year, I believe.
And then they paid the running back before they shipped him out too.
Gurley.
Right. And they took a cap hit this year before that, obviously.
Right. So Stiz is out. He's on his way to his 3rd and final fantasy draft. So,
Yeah, good luck, Stiz. I would. You want to put what Michael Johnson saying? I would make that deal knowing my argument and would have addressed ahead of time before the offer. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean the
actually, I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, the cap has always been at least the same, if not a little more, if not a lot more. So this would be, I believe, the very first time they've actually backed the numbers down. And so, such is life, and that's what you got to do. You got to be creative with what you're doing. Like I said, the Raiders are 9 million, but depending on who you talk to, they're like 9 million under right now. And everybody's saying, who are they going to get? Who are they going to get? Who are they going to get? They're talking about that pain in the ass safety that was supposed to go Earl Thomas. I'm like, I do not want Earl Thomas. If it comes down to it, save the money.
I don't think they need Earl Thomas. You got Jonathan Abram coming back.
I don't
I don't think it's going to be Earl Thomas. Like I said, you got Abram back there. You got Eric Harris. and who's a stalwart. Then you got Hurst that came over from the Cowboys. You don't really need a safety. So I'm hoping it's not that person coming in. Maybe it's another pass rusher. And
I
that
would say
good.
too, Captain, that obviously Mayock and Gruden probably learned their lesson from last year about bringing in guys with attitude issues. So I would be very, very surprised if Earl Thomas lands there. Let's see where he goes.
I hope. Like I said, I don't want no part of him.
I think he's on a 1 year, not prove it deal. Like he'll probably get a nice sum, but I don't think anybody's going to give him a big deal when you hear about him punching other teammates and missing practices, showing up late to meetings. Nobody wants that because you can't set that precedent. Look at Tom Coughlin's rule with Michael Strahan.
Yeah,
as you know, Coach, he just wasn't going to put up with it. He didn't care as Michael Strahan because you know it. You let one guy do it, you're going to end up letting the team do it.
Right. Absolutely, you got to do that. And but also AB kind of set that precedent. If I'm a jerk, they'll let me go. And sometimes you just got to do some stuff to be a jerk to, get let go. Yeah. And that isn't really the case, but also at the same time, you're getting that rap as that guy. So, some teams are going to shun away from you.
Right. I mean, look, AB ended up in New England, and now he can't get a job. And if he does, anywhere he does go, he's suspended for, I think, 8 games, right? Yeah, so I just don't see anybody taking it on. I was surprised. I don't know if we talked about this, but Seattle took on Josh Gordon again. Did we talk about that?
No.
Yeah, they took on Josh Gordon again, which I was kind of surprised about because what is this? How many chances has he got? I mean, it might be like 10.
Yeah, but remember now, Wacky Weed is not against the players' contract.
Right, it's legal out there in Washington and on the West Coast anyway. So I mean, they don't test for that anymore. So
so he's in the clear now.
Right. He could be as high as shit just as long as he produces.
Yeah, right.
But you see, he really has.
We don't care.
You see the raw talent there. But he hasn't, like you saw him there. He would make some plays here and there. But, man, when he was that first year in Cleveland, I think he had like 1,500 or 1,600 receiving yards in his rookie year. I mean, he was just looked unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's what made him, everybody, all eyes were on him.
Right.
He became that overnight sensation. But
did you just drop a Tupac there, Coach?
Sure.
All eyes on me.
I was gonna say, did you even know that you did that, or
I had no idea that I did that?
Okay. Well,
that's why I just said sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Michael Johnson is a big Cleveland Steamers fan, so he's got that as well. 12 TDs in 14 games. I'm sorry. Was also Josh Gordon.
Michael Johnson needs to get in touch with PP Eater's brother because he's a big Steamers fan as well. So there you go.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, how they do. I mean, look, in the first week, I actually Coach, you had mentioned it yesterday. I don't know if you did it on the show. I might have been after the show. Your buddy, what's his name? Your friend. Who gave you the picks? And he said about the Raiders.
Yes.
Sully.
Yes.
Yeah, he likes, and I kind of agree. 8.5 points is a lot of points. And, Myles Garrett's back with the Browns. So, I mean, they're not a terrible team. Like I said, I want to see a little bit out of Stefanski before I make my judgment on them and out of Mayfield as well. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As you know, too, he doesn't like Captain's Raiders. So,
I think that's personal. I know it's personal, man.
Okay. Everybody, if they're not a Raiders fan, they hate the Raiders. That's a Captain's mind. If you're not with us, you're against us. Plain and simple.
Right. Damn right.
I mean,
right.
That's the way it works with him. So, but it's okay. We allow you on the show anyway. It's all right.
Yeah. You like that.
Now, Captain, let me ask you this. So, Mariota missing I mean, do you think that Carr it gives him a breath of fresh air a little bit now that Mariota's hurt? Because now you're not looking over your shoulder the first couple games. Because I really think if they struggle to, let's just say start 1-3, I think we might have saw Mariota get inserted to the starting lineup. And now, as we know, that can't happen as he's going to the IR for, I believe it's the first 3 or 4 games is what I believe.
Yeah, they did change the IR rule this year. So, yeah, see, there you go. And I'm glad you said that, Mike, because I'm going to address that. I really am after I address the Mariota issue. The fact that they have like drawn back the amount of time that you have to be on the IR before you can be put forward, I think is a godsend for the Raiders, because I tell you, I saw the funniest thing is like if Carr sucks or if Carr gets injured, you might as well just forfeit, with Nate Peterman as your next quarterback. And oh, by the way, may I, Coach? Okay. Nate Peterman is your backup. And then you know who is on their practice squad is Deshaun Kaiser. Okay. So if you got to go there, you might as well just, I ain't gonna play, let's just forfeit. Okay. It save the wear and tear.
Wait a second. I think Deshaun Kaiser is a better quarterback than Peterman or Perryman or whatever.
Peterman.
Is he on the? Isn't that on Seinfeld? Didn't Elaine work for Peterman? I mean, what is that? His kid? What? Anyway, so why don't you go ahead and address?
The number about the Raiders.
Yes.
The Raiders are, and I always hear this is like, well, I am a Team X fan. I'm a Washington football team fan. But you know what? The Raiders are my second favorite team. The Raiders are always like, for all these people that like would come up and say, I really like the Raiders. They're my second favorite team. They're like my backup team. Okay.
My backup team.
Yeah. It's like I'm a Giants fan, but you know what? The Raiders are my backup team. They're my second favorite team. A lot of people tell me that.
As a Giant fan, I only have the Giants. I don't have a backup team. I don't have any other team. I like the Giants.
I'm telling you what I've been told. I've been telling you what I've been told.
Right.
And I'll tell you one other thing, and you'll get a kick out of this as well. My roommate my first roommate down in Guantanamo, because Tommy was my second roommate. My first roommate in Guantanamo.
Is that how you got the gonorrhea of the eye, or is that why you wear the glasses? So
that's why I wear the glasses, to make sure I don't get it. But my first roommate was from the Bronx in New York. Okay, and his favorite teams were the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys.
How does that make any sense?
Exactly. I said, Steve, you can't be a Giants fan and a Cowboys fan. It just does not work. And he was adamant. He said, no. I'm a Giants fan and a Cowboys fan. And I was like, whatever.
It sounds like Captain, though. He's a Flyers fan and a Lightning fan.
No,
that's not as close in the same division. But
I'm not. You know what? Fuck you, first of all, for saying that. Okay, I tell people I am a Flyers fan. But I am a Flyers fan, not first. Okay. I'm a Flyers fan. But when the Flyers are out of the playoffs, I in order to maintain interest, I root for the Lightning because of the personal situations and familiarity with the players which I've established.
They have a little glory hole set up where Captain works.
I got your fucking glory hole right here.
Okay? Man, don't hex me, Captain, like you did Von Miller's ankle. That's all I have.
Where the fuck is my goddamn doll? Okay. I'm going after I'm going after the Giants quarterback, but he doesn't need one because he sucks anyway. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, do you want to get into the ACC about March Madness?
Yeah, the ACC is. Are they smoking crack? What are they doing, man?
I don't know.
Because
I don't get it.
It's Krzyzewski. It's not just the ACC. It's Krzyzewski that's pushing this.
Wow. Captain,
What kind of tournament would be 350? I think it's 2 or 3. There's 352 or 3 teams, Division I teams. What kind of? How do you even set something that big up? I mean, you'd have to start that in like February,
right? Captain, could you imagine filling out that bracket? One, I mean, it would take you days just to fill that bracket out.
Because you can't even put it on one piece of paper. It'd be a book.
You're going to have to win 15 straight games or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of straight. You're going to have to win a lot of games in a row.
I'm going to blow your mind because you probably don't know this, but I never fill out a bracket. Okay. I don't. And the reason why is because of, first off,
Florida never makes it.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Florida, 2 national championships in a row.
Yeah,
okay.
2 decades ago.
Yeah, but you know what? Has Delaware won a national championship?
Yes, but we're Delaware. We're in the subdivision.
Okay, no. You're below.
We're considered a mid-major.
You're the below the. No, you're not even a mid. We aspire to be a mid-major. Okay, you're in the.
No, that's Delaware State. You're confusing the two.
Okay? Oh, well, yeah, like there's a difference because
there is a difference.
Delaware. Anyway, 2 national.
You offend me because I have nothing to do with that. That school from the north. Okay.
Yeah, he's from Delaware State.
I'm a Hornet all the way, baby. Okay.
Okay, Coach.
Don't confuse it.
Coach, no clue which one is which. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Delaware Blue Hens. Isn't that what it is? Blue Hens.
Yes.
Okay, and which one are you?
I'm the Hornet. I'm the Delaware State DSU.
Okay. Again, because
Dick Slap University instead of Slap Dick, it's Dick Slap University.
Don't care. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry. I actually went to Florida. So it's not one of these people that wears the T-shirt and extolls the virtues of Florida and say, "Hey, when did you go to school?" I didn't go to school. I just wear the T-shirt, and that pisses me off. I actually went to the school that I extol. Okay, right. I did go to Florida.
So I wear my DSU stuff. It's part of my show. I have my Del State stuff on.
Okay.
Now, to me, the 300 and so whatever teams, that's all about money. It's all it's about is money. And I'll tell you, it's not going to go over with fans. They like how it's set up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to go over. They like how it is.
I like all the conferences. I just don't like how they added these playing games. Where wait a second, because Del State, they're a MEAC team. Why do they get an automatic bid? Why do they have to play a playing game? They shouldn't have to play a playing game.
Well, it depends on. They might not have to. It's because it's the 8-9 game, and then that could be because it's the 16 seeds too. So that's the other playing game is the 2 16 seeds. So I don't like it either, but. I don't want to see 300 and some teams. Right. I think that will saturate the shit out of March Madness, which is something I love. I look forward to.
Exactly. Why even do it? Because I said, if you want to do it for money, okay. Even if you were to take the 64, actually now it's 66,
68,
whatever the hell it is. Even if you doubled it, okay, that would make more sense. Doubling it to like 130. Let's say 130, 132. That makes more sense than having 350 fucking schools.
Yeah, but I think everybody enjoys that conference tournament, the conference tournament to get in that team on the bubble. Now
I'm with you.
Because everybody, you could go 0-25 now, and you're going to be in the tournament. That makes no sense to me.
That's why I'm saying it makes. If you want to have more money, okay, at least do something that makes sense. Okay, going from 350-ish schools, and then you have to like play down. And they say, well, we're going to use the conference tournament to whittle that down a little bit. That's still bullshit. Okay, even if you doubled it because you want like another round for the money. That makes more sense, and it's actually more mathematically feasible to do that. You would just have that larger bracket. Okay. I don't understand how they even, if somebody's smoking some really good ganja to say that we're going to have a 350 school friggin' tournament. No, it's March Madness for a reason.
Right.
If you're going to have more money, then expand the fucking thing to a numeric, by the way, that is mathematically cool, so that you don't have these stupid playing games.
You know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna call Kenny, our college basketball guru. And see what his thoughts are on this.
Yeah, dude, that's a good job, Coach. And
we'll bring him on the show and let him.
Just make sure this time you comb his hair though, and that he's got a nice iron shirt, and
All right. Well, I'll talk. He's married now, so maybe those things have.
He got married?
Yeah, he got married during COVID. So yeah.
Good for him.
Can I drop a story, by the way, because you're talking about bringing a guy in on.
Certainly.
Okay. This morning I woke up extra early. Okay. Because I actually have webinars and things like that I have to do for work, so I'm sitting down, and I'm waiting in on this webinar, okay? And I'm the only guy that's in there waiting. Finally, some dude shows up, and the camera's on, no shirt on at all, okay? Basically, it looks like, he brushed his teeth with a whatever, no shirt, hair right, and he's like changing in front of the camera to throw his shirt on, okay? and I got it, and I couldn't screen capture it fast enough, so I actually kind of have him with like a shirt halfway on or halfway off, and I want to so bad throw it up on social media, but I'm afraid that if I do that, it's like they're gonna gank me because some guy was doing this military webinar. Okay, and I was the only one in there that saw it because he's like, oh, yeah, nobody's in here. And I'm like, so the meme was, make sure whenever you do a webinar that you're fucking fully dressed before you click the on button. I mean, it was...
Or at least have a shirt on so that what people see.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I had a shirt on. I mean, I have my underwear.
Yeah,
on,
we don't want to see your thong. We just want to see you have a shirt.
I don't wear thongs. I wear.
He's a whitey tighty guy, Captain.
No, not a whitey tighty guy. I wear
excuse me.
I wear like the what do you call it? The track underwear. Because I got a good deal on them. Like what Michael Johnson, our person did.
Captain has the stripper pants. The ones you just take and pull off like that. That's a captain's got. So he's just ready to rock and roll.
I used to have a pair of warm-up basketball pants like that, and I tried to do that. I ripped all the buttons out of it. I wore it once. But, that was it.
Yeah, but, a lot of people lost the tournament this year, too, and they're going to really – how upset I was, Coach.
Yeah.
And they're going to be looking forward to it next year. And I would be stunned if that happened. I don't think they're going to change it in any way. If they do anything, it might be a tweak of a couple teams. But I would hope they don't, because now we're dealing with college, too, where you're going to have all this craziness with the Big Ten.
But, I just want to say this, though, for, that you said double the tournament. They already do that. It's called the NIT.
It's true. Yeah.
They already do that. It's called the NIT.
Actually, the NIT is only 32 teams, though.
Okay, so they half it. Big deal.
I'm just saying.
He's not good at math, Captain. Let him go.
I'm just saying. I get what you're going for, and actually, there's that third fucking tournament that they just had because it was the NCAA March Madness, then you had the NIT, and then you had this other one which I never heard of, which is what they have. And I don't even know what the hell the name of the tournament is. The just because we don't get into the NIT tournament.
Yep.
Is probably
and I'll tell you this: if I was a coach, I wouldn't take it because I think some teams need to learn. You know what I mean? Hey, look, we didn't make either of these. The NIT, that's one thing.
Well, the NIT used to be the tournament. It used to be the tournament, and then all of a sudden, I guess in the 80s it kind of swapped to the the early 80s. It became the other tournament when the TV rights got sold, I guess. I don't know. But
Right.
But if you remember back in the day, the NIT was the tournament.
Okay, well, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Google it, Captain. Google.
No, wait a second. I don't remember UCLA winning all these national championships
In the NIT.
In the NIT.
Again, Google it. Okay. Just
Okay.
You're supposed to be
Hey, Coach,
the
how do you
producer
spell
guy that
Google?
does that stuff. Okay.
How do we spell? Just so I know, how do I spell Google so I can do it?
I actually put GOGGLE.
They have the voice thing. You just press the little microphone.
Look, so I don't think you know how to spell it. Oh my God. He just puts G up and it goes right away. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
start autofill, man. It's called autofill. So,
Okay.
anyway. Look, we've just come up on it, man. Great show. Thank you, Captain Jack, Nevada Nick,
Guys,
and
football
everyone
is
checking
here
us out.
tomorrow. Football is here tomorrow,
Football
boys.
is here tomorrow. We will be probably 99.9% of the show will be football. You know, probably just my opening won't be football because you'll hear my music. But other than that, it will be all football. Very excited about finally having it back.
Yeah.
So, again,
And I guess
don't
tomorrow,
forget-
too, we'll talk about our respective teams. Are you okay with that, Captain? Or are you going to do that on your show?
that. And
No, I can do that. I'll do that.
Okay.
we'll talk some of that tomorrow, and of course Nevada Nick will have his pick for the Chiefs game, and of course you can check this out again on a podcast wherever you listen: Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor, and of course go to YouTube, subscribe, and be part of the show. So we'll check everybody out tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for checking us out.
Subscribe to Coach's show so he can give away the damn card.
Yeah.
There you go.
The car. Oh,